Battle for Neighborville changed the Garden Warfare formula, shifting it toward a more team-coordinated shooter. Pea Shooter and Foot Soldier serve as classic frontline fighters, using their range and mobility to dominate in medium-range combat. Close quarters specialists like Chomper, Snapdragon, Super Brains, and 80s action hero thrive up close where they can release devastating melee or burst damage abilities. Meanwhile, classes like Nightcap and Imp are small, nimble, and adept at evasion. Every class has a role. Some aren't great in practice due to poor balancing, but they still serve a purpose, except for two: Wildflower and TV Head, collectively known as Swarm. Before diving into their mechanics, let's talk about how they came to be. By 2020, Battle for Neighborville was practically a dead game. Update quality had dropped significantly, lower player counts led to AI backfill, and support was discontinued just 11 months after launch. These days, the game isn't as dead as it used to be, thanks to its inclusion in Xbox Game Pass and a late spotlight in a Nintendo Direct. Funny how dropping a game with no marketing or hype tends to backfire. Weird. Anyways, as the game declined, PopCap lacked the resources and time to create new, original classes. Instead, Wildflower and TV Head were rushed out as playable versions of existing AI characters. Before that, they only appeared in PvE and Giddy Park. Wildflower and TV Head were given a unique classification: Swarm. But what does that even mean? Traditional roles like attack, defense, and support make sense. But Swarm? The idea is that these characters work best in groups, overwhelming the enemy. But doesn't that apply to any class? Get a bunch of planes together, and boom, the zombies are swarmed. What's supposed to make them special is their passive armor buff. When near other Wildflowers, TV Heads, or certain AI units, they gain increased durability. In theory, this encourages group coordination. In practice, not really. The game lacks drop-off damage, so there's no reason to risk close-range combat. Why rush in when you can deal the same amount of damage from a safe distance? This isn't necessarily Swarm's fault, it's just another example of EA Mario's refusal to make good balancing choices. Wildflower and TV Head share similar abilities with minor stat differences. Respawn Station allows them to place a respawn point and return there after being vanquished. Kamikaze Drone, a small, fast-moving drone that explodes for 110 damage, enough to one-shot nearly half the cast. Thank you, EA Mario. It also has a surge range even without speed upgrades. Grenade, a throwable explosive dealing 75 damage on direct impact. It's essentially a mini ZPG. Melee attack, because why not? Even between the two, one is objectively better. Wildflower's grenade explodes instantly on contact, while TV Head has a slight delay, giving him more time delay to hit. Additionally, Wildflower's upgrade grants a second grenade use, while TV Head's upgrade makes him throw two at once. TV Head's is superior, no manual input needed, and enemies have little time to react. Even the drone variants are unbalanced. Yeti Imp is straight up better than Dandelion, faster, smaller, and able to chill survivors of its explosion, slowing them down. Dandelion can jump higher, but BFN's map design makes that mostly irrelevant. Good character design creates a cohesive playstyle. Take Pea Shooter, Chili Bean Bomb, Pea Gatling, and Pea Soup Head all work together. His abilities let him control space, deal burst damage, and enhance his agility, making him a fast, high-power attacker. Swarm, on the other hand, has no such synergy. Their abilities feel like disconnected tools rather than parts of a larger strategy, and that leads to their biggest issue: turtling. With the respawn pod and high damage drone, Swarm characters never need to leave a location. They can sit back, send drones for free kills, and pick off enemies with grenades. If an opponent dares to approach, just lob a grenade and finish them off. Add teammates into the mix, and the armor buff makes them even harder to deal with. Swarm is supposed to be a teamwork class. The problem? It doesn't require actual teamwork. You just have to exist near allies to gain benefits. Compare this to other support-based characters. Citron must give up attacking to raise his shield. Scientist can't shoot while using heal hose. Sunflower's heal beam compromises her positioning. Each of these has a trade-off. Swarm doesn't. What makes Swarm's failure even worse is that BFN already has a teamwork-based character done right: Acorn and Space Cadet, and Oak and Space Station. Acorns and Cadets must actively engage with their hosts. Joining an Oak or Space Station boosts firepower and durability, but requires coordination. The Oak or Space Station must work with their teammates to time abilities and avoid getting overwhelmed. The system works because it rewards real teamwork rather than just standing near allies. Swarm, on the other hand, feels that both teamwork and its intended role. Instead of enhancing the game, it disrupts it, encouraging a low-risk, high-reward playstyle that's frustrating to deal with. Honestly, the whole concept would need a complete overhaul, but here are a few ideas. Rework the drone into a scouting tool instead of a high damage attack. It could mark enemies through walls, helping teammates coordinate attacks. Remove the respawn pod. It encourages camping. Instead, give Swarm a movement ability, maybe something inspired by the Loads of Variance mod. For example, a light show ability similar to Dandelion's, launching Wildflower TV Head into the air with a burst of speed. This would give them actual mobility options, reducing the reliance on camping and making them more dynamic in combat. I don't have much to say for them since they're essentially shoehorned characters to try and revive the game, but if you enjoyed this, then thanks for watching.